As a guy who's single, who's the last friend of his group that's single, I've noticed that how toxic women can be. I've witnessed it all. I've seen it all. I've seen the Asian girls being toxic. I didn't think Asian girls could be crazy, but yet I ran into one that was crazy, and I'm like, oh, okay, so it's just a woman thing. But if you haven't noticed, in America specifically, the dating pool has been completely contaminated. And if you don't believe me, this is a mouth from a woman herself. But I gotta say, that jawline is super strong. So let's dive into this video made by Kaylin Marissa. She talks about women have been contaminated, and she's not talking about AIDS. At least I think so. I don't know. That would be a complete turnaround of what I thought it was gonna be, but I don't think it's that. At least I hope so.
The contamination of women. There's a lot of it going on. We're seeing the effects firsthand. This generation is one of the most degenerate generations that I've ever seen. I mean, of course, I'm young, but you can go in the history books. There's been...
Literally. So true. Bro, you don't see in the history books that in 1928, a guy jacking off, or a guy freaking... I'm pretty sure guys did jack off back then. It wasn't invented till like 1900s, I think. I don't know. But guys didn't get girls' bathwaters and try to drink it. At least the ones that was sane didn't do that crap. This is a huge degenerative society we have right now. Like, ever since the people have been dismissing Christianity, they went completely full degeneracy. Like, it's so bad that even the church has been affected by this too. Like, there's a huge degeneracy, like, all around everything. And you know what it is? It's a lack of shame. We got rid of bullying because there's too many school shootings. You can't take it and leave it both, bro. Either you have school shootings or you have furries running around. Like, you just can't win. But on a serious note, it is very, very degenerative. Like, girls are so happy. Like, yeah, I slept with like 20 guys last week. And I'm just like, ugh, that's disgusting. What's your phone number? No, I'm just kidding. I just had to say that.
Plenty of degenerate things going on throughout the world. Things we don't know about, things we do know about, things we don't care about, but...
Dang, this chick is built like a chud. Look at that strong jawline. Gosh, dang. That is like... That's like the alpha, but her face is shaped like that guy from the memes. You know, that dude that looks like Giga Chad. Yes, this is her daughter. You better watch out. That jaw, man, that's a strong jawline. I'm sorry. Let's get back to the video.
The degeneration and the contamination of women is very prevalent. It's among the young women, which is the future generations. And I think it's a big deal, a much bigger deal than many people make it out to be, or even acknowledge. Because the everyday typical woman that I interact with it's not even in her reality, the idea that there could be some type of contamination against her actively happening all the time, all the way around her. So there's many different topics I could speak about, but today I really want to talk about the contamination of women through friendships, through social circles. And this doesn't only apply to women, because it is really important for anybody to analyze and be selective with the people that they allow around them and in their space. But I will say, being a woman myself, I have firsthand experience with the ease it is to fall into patterns and to change my behavior based on who I hang around. I realized this, thankfully, thank God, at a young age, but it wasn't always like that. I remember being in high school, being easily influenced by the people I hung out with. I can look back and say, wow, that wasn't even me. What was I doing? Why was I acting this way? Why was I doing these things? Why was I speaking this way? Why was I listening to this music? And it's not to blame other women, as far as like, I'm not taking it off of myself and putting it onto them, but I really want to talk about how easily influenced we are. We need to...
I dated a girl before. Right? Oh, shocker. Yeah, I know. I dated a woman. Oh. I dated a girl. She was a nice church girl, skinny. She had a giant vein in her forehead. I just could not stop staring at the thing. But she was a nice, quiet girl. She eventually moved in with a roommate who was a boss babe, who was very demanding, very dominant. And she believed that, hey, you should be able to date multiple guys at once. I know, in the church, right? That's crazy. So one day I went to her after the third date. I was like, hey, I like you and I think this is a great date. We should just date. Let's date exclusively. You know, I'm not dating nobody. You're probably not dating nobody. Let's do it exclusively. And you know what she told me? She did a script that was given to her from the last girl. Was like, I can't because my friends all agree that I should start exploring my choices out there. Like, I dated you, and like, so therefore, like, I don't know if I like other people or not. Yeah, she's retarded. And I'm like, bro, if you know, that's such a stupid argument because I don't have to date someone to know if I like them or not. It's the attraction there first, and then I date them. I'm not going to go to a whole bunch of girls and date a whole bunch of girls at once because, one, that's tiring. Holy crap. One woman arguing is hard enough. Never mind 5 of them at once. But it's so bad to have that mindset that something's better out there. That's basically what that is. Like, oh yeah, I like you. You're good. But there could be something better out there. You don't want love. You just want a prize. And that's what, I mean, like, to be honest, I should have told her, I'm like, either you be a lesbian or you're a nun. Like, pick one or the other. Like, you don't like men. If you liked men, you wouldn't be doing this. And that's what it boils down to, a lot of hate for men in this generation. Completely. So I agree with her. The water is diluted, bro. They're putting something in the water. And we ain't talking about Flint. They did put something in the water. That was terrible. I shouldn't joke about that.
Acknowledge one thing going into this video. Women are highly socially adaptable. Whether they're doing that consciously or subconsciously, that is another topic. Probably get into that in this video. But we are...
It's almost as if women's more I can't speak. Women are more easily into group thinking. Was there a study done with this? Oh yeah, there was. All right, so we know that this is diluted because literally I took psychology class and I got like an A in it. I got 100. I'm so good at psychology. Google's saying it doesn't exist. That's a red flag, but it does exist. Let me ask ChatGPT. ChatGPT might give me some BS, but we'll see. Wait, I don't even have to do ChatGPT. It says it right here. If you just scroll down, it literally says, in the group biases research, such as a landmark studies implicated published the journey of personalities in social psychology, indicates that women often demonstrate stronger automatic in group favoritism compared to men. They just counter themselves within just a little scroll down. You could just see the rest. So they try to like to sugarcoat it. Whatever. That's the proof right there. I don't gotta say anything else.
You're highly socially adaptable. And I do believe that this goes back into history for our survival, you know. I'm not going to speak on the morals of it, but if there was a kingdom and that kingdom fell, the women would typically adapt and find husbands in the other kingdom that overcame their previous kingdom. And that's how they survived. It was a survival mechanism. Now, yes, this can also speak to the manipulative dark traits of women who seemingly pass off one man for the next when she's not getting her needs met. When her selfishness is more important to her than the well-being of the people around her, and she just changes. These are flaws, but I do think that we have seen patterns of this in history. We have seen it's hard for me to use this word, but in my opinion it is true. We've seen the disloyal patterns of women time and time again, okay? So I think this can be a positive and a negative thing, but I do think that this is a much more negative thing than positive in most circumstances, especially in the modern world. So women, we unconsciously adapt and evolve and take on speech patterns, beliefs, fears, habits, insecurities, ambitions. We literally subconsciously take on almost everything. We are the most easily programmable species on the earth. We can be manipulated the most easy, even if we don't realize that or not. We're very easily manipulatable. And not only does society do these things and target us, but the women we hang around do as well. I am aware of these things, but I still fall into them. If I'm surrounding myself with women who can't stop talking about other people, what am I going to end up doing? I'm going to end up talking about other people.
Dude, she is speaking bars 100%. Be careful who you hang out yourself by. And it's crazy that she's saying all this stuff because literally it's in the Bible. I remember reading a verse. What did it say? Here it goes. It's a real short one. Literally says, Corinthians 15:33, which warns, do not be misled. Bad company corrupts good character. That's crazy. Like thousands of years ago, they it's like if they wrote a book that has all this stuff in it. Only if like we would read it. But that is true. I did have some friends who was bad. Friends. I went through like different phases of my life. I hanged out with a bunch of losers at first. Like these guys, like they went down life like a dark path. I'm glad I stopped hanging out with them. But then I went to church and everything, and then I also hang out with a bad group there. That yeah, they was just it was just weird. Like there's people who says they want the best for you, but they don't really actually want the best for you. You look at people's actions rather than words. That's what my best conclusion like from that is from my lessons is don't listen to what people say. Look at how they behave. Look at their actions, how they act. Because best believe if they're acting like that behind you or you get a little sneak peek, it's full blown way worse behind closed doors. So yeah, she's right.
What kind of example is this for my kids? What kind of example is this for my future kids? What kind of example is this to anybody around me? How am I portraying myself? Not in a very good way. And a lot of times you're not even realizing you're doing it. So you need to analyze. You need to see who are your friends that are the most likely to gossip. Why are you friends with them? What is the benefit for you? How is this helping you evolve as an individual? The same thing goes for men. Is your woman friends with hoes? Well, you should kind of be worried because a woman who is friends with other women who cheat on their partners, who are hoes, well, they'll very quickly adapt to believing that these things aren't as bad as they might have once believed they were. They will very...
Yep. It's all because our society stopped, gotten rid of shame. Feminism has destroyed shame, threw it out the window. Sex positivity, yeah, whole positivity, that's what that is. And HIV positivity, more increased. That's what that is too. But what she's saying is 100% true, bro. This is bars, bro. Like, not only does she look like a Chad, she speaks like a Chad too. She is the first among myself, the next evolution of humanity. I see that. Dang, but she has a strong jawline. I don't know if I can compete with that, bro. Like, look at that. Gosh, dang, that's a strong facial features.
Very quickly begin accepting these things and laughing about them. That's why who you keep around you is extremely important. Men and women. It's not just for women, this part. If you hang out with people who joke about things that you take seriously or that you once took seriously, you're going to end up joking about that. You're going to lose your discipline. You're going to lose everything that has made you who you are.
Yes, bro. Do not hang out with people who don't want the best for you in life at all. I used to hang out with people who would joke about my things I want to do in life. Like I wanted to seriously do YouTube. I love doing YouTube since I was a kid. And then they would like literally badmouth me or make fun of me. And sometimes it's not even just your friends, but it's family members, which sucks. Just because blood is thick in the water doesn't mean it doesn't boil. It's literally, bro, it doesn't matter. You got to question everyone who you surround yourself by. And this is like a little personal thing, but I ran away from home. I did. I ran away from my mom's house because of how toxic it was. I couldn't stand it anymore there. They literally was so toxic. My brothers, my family members, stepdad, everyone was so toxic. I had to run away. And that was the best decision I made in my whole entire life. And, you know, like, yeah, it sucks. I still have some kind of resentment toward them, but you know, like, that's just life. Like, it just teaches you, like, you know, not everyone you need to trust. You know, not everyone, you can say hi to your family members here and there, but they don't need to know what you're doing. Like, nobody knows about this YouTube channel. No one else knows. I mean, another YouTube channel, they know about that, but nobody knows about this one. And it's going to stay that way, hopefully. But yeah, bro, just don't hang out with, like, people who put you down. Like, think about that. Think about next time you have a conversation with someone about how they make you feel. I know that's a very liberal word to say, but if after the conversation, if you feel lesser at all, or you need to improve on stuff that you didn't know you need to improve on, no one should force you to feel like something that didn't come from you. Like, if it's like, right, if someone's giving you actual criticism, it's going to come from the heart and you're going to know it, either if you like it or not. But that's real. That's real, sister. That's really real.
Very easy for this to happen. Which is why you need to really, really hone down and focus on who are you hanging out with? Who are you having conversations with? Who are you giving your time to? Don't become a person who starts laughing about things that were once important to you because everybody else is. I have almost become victim to that. I've almost fallen short and done these things. There's been times in my life where I really believed, you know, that cursing was disgusting and I didn't want to curse anymore. And I really put it in my head, I want to stop cursing. I don't want to have that in my language. I want to present myself in a more classy, elegant, well put together manner. I do not want to use curse words to express myself. And then I would go hang out with people, men and women, doesn't matter, just people in general. And they would curse and it becomes so normal. And that thing that is so important to me seemingly becomes silly. Like everyone's doing it. Why do I care so much about doing it? Maybe.
You know, the opposite can happen too. I'm not a guy that curses a lot. I only when I'm playing like my rivals. I'm just kidding. But I don't curse really. And it's crazy in high school. Like a lot of people would stop cursing around me. Like they just automatically would just stop. Like anyone in my life, like they, like for some reason they curse on the outside, but when they're around me, they would just stop cursing. It's because I wouldn't abide to the pressure. Like I did not care. Like people would try to make me curse, and I'd just be like, nah, I'm good. And it just shows like it could be a double-edged sword, but at the same time, you shouldn't be that person. You can. Okay, here's a good euphemism. I cannot speak. You can be the person that changed other people's life, but you shouldn't be. Which means that you can be the person that changed your life, but you shouldn't force yourself to be that person. If that person wants to stay around, good, but you can't fix people. You can't save everybody. It took me so many years to realize that too in my personal life. Like I can't fix people. I can fix myself and my family. And that's where it goes down to. This girl's speaking bars. She's also mogging me every time, bro, like I haven't paused, and every time I pause, she has like a perfect freaking perfect pose, bro. Like she has not missed a beat at all. She is mogging me like 100%.
Yeah, I'm weird. Maybe I'm the one that has a problem. These people are just normal. No. If you have a belief, you need to stick to it. And if there's people around you that cannot also follow in that belief, you need to analyze whether or not it's worth it to keep them in your life, in your circle or not. If you are a person who values fitness and you value health, will you be friends with a bunch of chronically overweight people that cannot control what goes into their mouth? Will you? And then
that's why I don't hang out with chubbies.
You can argue with me and say that this is wrong and you shouldn't have this mindset, but at the same time,
I just throw a cookie and then they go the other way, to be honest with you. They just follow the cookie. Just throw a cookie.
The people that are close to you wear off on you. And eventually, missing the gym once in a while won't become such a big deal if everybody around you is overweight and they don't take care of themselves and they never go to the gym. All of a sudden, you will seem like the exception and you'll start to slack off. I've seen this happen. It's happened to me. When I was around people who didn't prioritize their health, didn't prioritize their mindset, didn't prioritize their future, didn't prioritize anything, I wasn't prioritizing anything. And if I came into that friendship or relationship, whatever it was, with the mindset of these things are important to me, very slowly over time, those things became unimportant to me, which is why it is so important who you allow into your life. Because slowly, there's toxicity and their lack of care for themselves will wear off on you. That's why I say you should always be the worst in the 5 people you hang out with. For example, if you're a man and having a generous income and generational wealth is important to you, building that for your future family, that's something that's important to you. You should be the poorest person in your friend group because you're going to get the habits of the 4 other people who have it together. You're going to learn things.
Bars.
You're going to adapt your lifestyle. You're going to become better.
But the problem is that Drake don't want to hang out with no brokies. He said it in his last song, so I'm out on that bar. But for real though, that's so true. That is so true. And sometimes it's tough because like the number one reason why people don't want to change their friends group because they want to be alone. But then that answers questions: why don't you want to be alone? Is there things you don't want to talk about behind closed doors? Did you not address things in the future? Are you just hiding behind a veil and your friend groups just help you build that veil together that you both have something in common? It's like if the Bible won't convince you, this will convince you. Rich people hang out with rich people. Successful people only surround themselves by other successful people. So if you don't, I don't even need to throw a study up on this, but it's there. Just Google it yourself. If you're surrounding yourself by losers, people will drag you down, bro. That's just life. Like, people's gonna hate. Misery loves company, bro. And you gotta know how to cut those people off that needs to be cut. And again, she doesn't miss a beat. Even closing her eyes, she is still mogging me. Gosh dang. This chick's like a model, bro.
If you're the most wealthy man out of the 5 people in your friendship group, well, probably what's going to happen is either one thing, you're not going to be friends with them for very long, or you're going to start slacking off and going down to their level because they're going to start influencing you. They're going to start calling you crazy for missing out on the club to go to the gym. They're going to start calling you crazy for not drinking beer at the sports game because everybody else is. This is something I really realized while the World Cup is going on. Yes, I went and I, watched and I spent time there with people. I think there's nothing wrong with enjoying sometimes in moderation. And, it's always interesting to see things that bring people happiness and see things that so many people are passionate about. Now, I may have no interest in these huge theatrical events, for example, American football, for example, the World Cup, I can enjoy on a small scale personal teams watching from my house. You know, I'm not going to invest too much of my time into it though, because I do believe it is a psyop and I do believe it is a way to harvest energy. Let me get back to the point. So I went there and to some World Cup events this year, and I was just watching everybody around me, and it's almost like nobody has a mind of their own. You're allowed to enjoy, you're allowed to relax a little bit, you're allowed to, you know, have fun. But these people, they go in groups and they think they're all different, but they're not different. They're the exact same. They react the same. They cheer the same. They have the same opinion about the game. They're all drinking the same alcoholic beverage. They're all getting drunk. They're all eating the same crap food. They're all wasting their money on bets.
They're all peasants, and we need to lock them up. We need to lock them up inside a camp and have them force read One Piece until they become better. Sorry, my inner German came out. I don't know where that came from. I'm so sorry about that. I don't even think One Piece would fix some of these people, bro. Like, look at Hassan. If you know, you know.
And nobody in those groups, in those circles, sees anything wrong with it because they're all on the same level. So they're basically clones of one another in different skins, and they see nothing wrong with it, and they never will. And they will continue to mindlessly go do these things. They will continuously...
To be honest with you, I never really got sports. I mean, I got basketball sometimes, like when I was really into it, like just a little bit, but the only sports I really like is like boxing, but then at the same time, I don't want to suffer brain damage in the future. But yeah, I didn't really like sports. Like you put one ball into another ball and then that's a sport. Like it just, I guess the only sport I like is chess, but that's not considered really a sport. It's more like a strategic game. I don't know. I'm more brainy than, I am bronze too, because I'm German, but I am also very intellectual person. I like strategy games. Okay, we finally caught her slacking. That's a crazy bull. She looked possessed right there. Finally caught her slacking.
Mindlessly cheer for something. They will continuously stand out of their chair just because everybody else is doing it. It's like really a movie when you watch it, when you sit back and you watch and you analyze it. But it is very easy to get sucked into it because you feel that energy. Even me, somebody who I have these opinions about these things and these events, and I see them for what they are. In the moment, the energy is so strong, you kind of just want to give into it. You kind of just want to be part of it. And, you know, there's nothing wrong. Your life isn't going to end if you adapt and you have fun for one day. But the point is that one day becomes, you know, overnight, because now we're going to an after party. Or it becomes another day, like, let's go to the next game, let's do this again. And then it becomes this ongoing cycle of one more day, one more day, one more day. And eventually, your routines are thrown off. Your values are thrown off. You're not even thinking about your goals anymore because you've given into this pleasure. You've given into this entertainment. And it's become your life. And
I'm going to stop the video there. What she says is 100% true. What do you think, Rhea? Do you like peer pressure? I think she wants to let go. I think she wants me. Is my breath stink? Sorry. I'm a terrible cat owner. But, yeah, like what she says is 100% true. Subscribe to this girl. Her channel is Kaylin Marissa, a normal white girl name. But she's very smart. Unlike a normal American white girl. Was that racist? I'm half white. I can say that. Let me know what you guys think. Do you succumb to peer pressure? I think everyone has before. Yeah, I got nothing really weighted to say. It was a really great video, and I agree with everything she said. And if you want to improve in life, you got to start questioning who you hang yourself by. Not hang yours. Okay, let me redo that. If you want to succeed in life, you start questioning who you surround yourself by. Because the demons maybe hide in the closet might be closer than you see. Might be closer than, I don't know, than the monsters underneath your bed. I don't know what to say. I was trying to go clever with this. It didn't work out. Anyways, yeah, I'll see you guys next one.